right now.
Okay, uh, fine. So do you have a prior idea of Informatica? How does it work?
Me, no.
Not
Okay.
actually, no. Actually, I know like what ETL does and the process behind it, but I do not know like, like to exactly go and develop things. So,
Okay, fine. So what I will do, I will give you a brief introduction. How does Informatica work? And then
Before
I
you
will tell.
start, can I ask one question?
Sure, sure. Yeah.
Uh, like, I also heard like you write reports on the database. For reports, like what kind of tools you use? Like, our Informatica is also a reporting tool.
No, Informatica is not the reporting tool.
So you,
Informatica is an ETL tool. It
okay,
extracts, transforms, and load data.
load
For
data.
after it has done the work of loading, you need to put another reporting tool like Cognos or any other BO. So
Okay,
Informatica is not meant for reporting.
okay. So,
Yeah.
is this course contains any reporting tool or introduction to reporting tool or anything
No,
like
no,
that?
no.
No.
It's
Okay.
only ETL,
Okay.
only one part.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so what I plan is I shall tell you about Informatica, how does it work, showing the interface, and then I will tell you about my course structure, how do we cover these things. It will take around 30 minutes of time. Is
Okay.
it fine with you?
Yep.
Okay. So I hope you both of you can see my screen, and this is what you might have heard. Informatica is an ETL tool. ETL means extract, transform, and load data. We do ETL for various purposes. One example can be for data warehousing purpose. Data warehousing, in short, you can understand, consolidated reporting across various applications. So when we are doing the reporting across various applications, the data should come into one common application. We need the ETL tool to bring the data, and later we can pull the report. So ETL is the first part of the data warehouse. Another example of ETL can be for doing the data migration from one system to another. Let us say a company is using a DB2 based application from last 10 years, and now they have built a Oracle based web based application. In the new application also they would like to see the old data. So they would use some ETL tool to move the data. And in the new application, whether it is data warehouse or in data migration project, the data won't fit exactly because the structure would be different. So while moving the data, ETL tool is capable of doing the changes. We call it transformation. So there are other business use like data mining, data analytics. These are the new upcoming areas. So no matter what is the business use, whole of the ETL can be done into these 5 steps. The first step would be that check whether the data is there in Oracle or any other database which you are using. Informatica is capable of working on many databases. So whatever is your subject database, you check there. For our training, mostly we will use Oracle. Sometimes we will use SQL Server. So once we have checked whether data is there in Oracle or not, we use Informatica Designer, which is one of the tools of Informatica, to create a program to move data. Here the programs are called map. So let us see how we can perform these 2 steps, then we can go to the next 3 steps. Ask me when you have any question.
Do you guys provide like, I guess you call it client server software or something, or access to server? Do you guys provide any kind of software?
Yes, software, either you will be provided a remote access, okay, or it will be installed. So either will be there.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm starting Oracle. This is how I prefer to start Oracle. There can be several ways to start Oracle. This way is consistent across different versions. So I prefer like this. And here I am checking this employee table. Select a star from employee means select all the values from this table. Oh. So I see here I got 11 rows with many columns, and I will move this data to the table called EMP target. Before I move, I am removing all the existing rows. And commit means save the changes. So now I know I have got the data into employee table. My idea is to move it from employee to employee target. This time I am moving in the same database. In real time you will be moving from one database to another. Might be from DB2 to Oracle or Oracle to SQL Server. So this was my step number 1. Let us move to step number 2, use Informatica Designer. So when you access the server having Informatica Designer installed, or might be your machine, you will find options like this, Designer. So I'm starting Designer here. Here it takes little time to start the Designer.
Okay, while it's starting, in the earlier document, I saw like you said SQL and PLSQL. Do you also write procedures, functions, or something? Do you have to write?
Oh yes, yes.
Okay.
I will explain. I will explain this point.
Okay.
So I have a question regarding the source file. So here the source file is the data from the Oracle.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Source and target both are Oracle. It can be different also. It can be a file and a table also.
What if it's like an Excel file? Sorry, what if it's like an Excel file or something like from like a Word document? Do you do any conversion tools for that?
From Excel file, we can very well pick. Informatica is capable of reading from XML, from Excel file, as well as XML file, flat file, or all are possible. In case of Word document, we have to use some external tool to convert it into a flat file.
Okay. So the input for information, I mean like Informatica should be like in the form of an XML file, right?
No, not necessarily. XML or flat file.
Okay. Thank you.
So this is how the designer looks. The step number 1 on any application would be just connect with a valid user ID and the password. You see here under repository we have got training. So this represents the different environments. Here I have got only training environment. If you have got testing environment, you will find another set of things like this. I'm opening one of the folders where I can organize my work. And this is how an Informatica program, we call it map, that might look. So I'm removing the existing things so that I can show you from the beginning. So this is removed. This one, including this one, is removed. Okay, and so on designer, the sub-step number 1 would be bring the source structure. I will use these buttons to navigate to the different placeholder. I am going to the placeholder for the source and doing this source import from database. And here I will give the same user ID and the password to connect with database. The same database which we had just seen. And here I can see my list of tables. I am interested in this employee table. This way I have brought the employee structure. Similar way I am going to the placeholder for the target and I can do target import from database.
Is this the same database or a different database?
Yes, in this case, in this training environment, both are in the same database, but it can be the different databases also. From here, we can choose the different databases.
Okay.
So this way, we have got the target table structure. Now I'm going to the main place, mapping designer. And here the things which I have just brought, that has gone to the folders at the left side. I can drag them. Okay, one step is here, mapping create. Okay, map test 100. And this structure I have dragged here. Similarly, I will bring the source. When I bring the source, one additional thing has come. This is called source qualifier. This also looks quite similar as the source structure. If you watch it carefully, you will find there is a difference in the data type. The purpose of source qualifier is automatically convert it to the data type to the Informatica data type. If I got another source, let's say from DB2 or SQL Server, it will have its own data type. So handling several data type is very difficult. That is why source qualifier takes the job to convert the data type into common Informatica data type. And then we can join, just join the fields like this, and the data can flow from here to here. Usually here what you see, we have got salary, and here we have got net salary. When we move the data from one system to another, you will find that it does not fit exactly. What I am assuming here we have got net salary, which means salary minus, let's say, 10% of tax. So what I will do, while moving the data, I will make some arrangement that we calculate net salary and move that. Other fields, what I have assumed, it goes directly. In real time, you might have scenario that there are several changes. Here I am assuming just a small change. Let us see how we can do the change. For changing data, we need to do transformation. Transformation create. There are several transformation depending upon what is the change you are looking. I can join the data. I can do the normalization. Right now, I am interested in a simple calculation. So I am choosing the expression type of transformation for net salary. So all these details about the transformation we would see in our normal course. And here what we can see, this transformation is there. I am dragging this column here. Here I want an additional column called net salary. So right click, edit. This is the new button to add a new column. The columns are called ports here. And so what you find in Informatica, the terms are slightly different. Programs are called map, columns are called ports. However, the things represent the usual things which we know. So I'm adding this port and changing the name as net salary. Here the data type should be an appropriate one. And then we can see one additional port has come. So it should get the value. It is not an input value. So I am going back here to edit the port. So this is not an input, so I am removing this column, this checkbox. And here, this is the editor where I can give my business logic. Right now my business logic is salary, in net salary, salary minus salary into 10%. I can validate here whether the syntax is correct or not. Okay, so this port is ready now, and I can connect this to the target. Other two columns, commission, department number, and the previous columns, they go straight. And I can save this program. Yes. So this is how the program on designer or map on designer is made to move the data from employee to employee target. While moving, I have done one transformation on salary. This was my step number 2. Do you have any question regarding this?
Like
Informatica,
is that supports all kinds of data types like blobs, clubs, everything?
No. I think blob, those are large objects that is not supported here.
Okay.
Yes, Purnima, you wanted to? Yeah.
Yeah, and the target table, right? The net salary is the column or the port name that you mentioned. So when we create the target table, did we had all these type of columns or?
Yes. So right, and now when I have imported the target, this has come. It means that this structure is already there.
Okay.
Yes. So when we move the data, first we have to ensure that the table structures are ready.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
So as a developer, do you have to create tables on the both sides? Like you have to know what columns is going to have on destination side?
Yes, this is a good question. In ETL developer's task is to work on Informatica. Usually when you work on a project, you will have some team members whose core task is to work on the database. So ideally they are supposed to create the tables. However, sometimes you might be needed to modify something. So you should have the basic idea of SQL, not an advanced idea, like selecting the table, sometimes dropping, recreating. So it's always better to have some idea of SQL and PLSQL. But advanced knowledge is not required.
Okay.
So this was my step number 2. Here the sub-step was bring the source, bring the target, do transformation, connect source and target. Usually after creating the program, we run the program. At times, the main program is not the executable program. For example, in your Unix, you create a separate script, which is another program to run the main program. Or if you are installing Oracle, you run the installer. Installer is a program which will pick the main program and run it. In case of Informatica, similar arrangement is there. What we have just created, we do not run that. We will create another program called workflow, which will pick my main program and run. There are a lot of advantages of having the things into 2 steps. For example, when we run the installer, we give the path where do we want to install. We check the checkboxes, which are the components we want to install. So configurable properties are coming under the executable. That is why at times this is an arrangement that main program is one thing, executing program is another thing. So now I am making the executing program using the tool called Workflow Manager. So same way, I am starting another tool of Informatica, Power Center Workflow Manager. Power Center is a group of tools which we are going to use. The exact name is Power Center Informatica Power Center Workflow Manager. Sometimes people call it Informatica, sometimes they call it Power Center. All are the same name. And here Here the steps are quite simple. Use this wizard, give some name. I'm giving workflow for map underscore test 100. Yes, this was my map name. Similar name I have given for the workflow. Next, I am choosing the map here. I can choose the multiple programs to run after another. I can give the sequence of running conditions when one should run, when one should stop, like that. However, I am not choosing most of the options here. We can give the scheduling option, run at this particular time, like that. So at this step we give the configurable properties. Yes, right now I have not given the configurable properties. Only one thing I want to give. Here also I am giving the command to truncate the data before running. Truncate the target table before running. So this way my workflow is ready and I can run this workflow. Internally it will pick the map and run. When I run this, what you see, one additional tool has come. This is called the workflow monitor, and we can see our program is in the running status. Informatica programs run for several hours. 6 hours, 24 hours is a usual time, extracting millions of rows. That is why we need another tool to check how much program has progressed. Is there any rejection of rows or not? How much more time it will take? So that is done on the workflow monitor. We saw that the program has succeeded. So let us go back to Oracle, my database tools, and check whether the data has moved or not. So what we see, in the target also I have got same 11 rows. And let us compare the sum of the rows with the source. Yes. Let us compare the first row. We see Smith is here. Then employee number, e-name, job. All the columns are same. Only the salary is different. Because we had made a transformation on salary. Here the salary is lesser by 10%. So we have moved the data from here to here. Exactly same except this column. And and in this process we have done we moved to step number 4, use the workflow monitor to check the progress of program, and then step number 5, test the result in Oracle. So in these 5 steps we have done whole of the ETL thing. First and last step was with the database. In between the 3 steps was with Informatica, using designer, workflow manager, and workflow monitor. This is how Informatica works.
So basically in the workflow manager, it used what we did in the Informatica designer to run?
Yes.
Okay. The monitor is nothing but just monitoring what's going on. Okay. Sorry.
So is this something to do with the batch process that you guys do?
Yes, in the workflow manager we have several options. We can give batch processing information. We can give a scheduling information.
Okay.
Yeah.
So all these multinational companies are using this tool. Is this tool installed on Unix, Linux, or Windows? What operating system do you guys use?
Oh, it can be on Unix, Linux, as well as Windows. It is there. The versions are there for all the 3 OS. For our training, we will be using Windows.
Windows.
Yeah. So what you observe here in Informatica, yeah, that tool looks quite interesting, colorful, And for making this program, we have not written any code. So only one small command I have written, salary minus 10% of salary. So using Informatica is like mostly drag and drop, hardly anything writing. So it's like fixing a program. So that makes the learning also easy. Yes, so this is how at high level Informatica works. With this knowledge, you can very well discuss about Informatica in your company at the high level. How does Informatica work? What are the different tools?
So developers mostly work on the transformation stuff, like doing.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's right. Developer works on transformation, and around 70% of time you will spend on designer.
Okay.
I will show you my course structure. Shall I proceed ahead? Any question?
Go ahead. I don't have any.
So this is my course structure. We start with the session number 1, and the last is session 30. Total 30 sessions. Most of the sessions are for 1 hour. Few are for 2 hours. Total time we spend is 35 hours, ideally. And we start with the basics of the SQL and PLSQL. You have just seen that we use SQL and PLSQL. SQL for certain scenarios. So, and also we cover the concepts of the data warehouse, because quite often we use Informatica for the data warehouse purpose also. And then we start, and here is the main structure of the course. The longest topic will be the transformation, several transformations. And when we are midway through the course, I will give you one of the real-time projects which I had done earlier. Here you can practice most of the things. And by end of 25 session, you will have a sound technical knowledge. Then we will see the process and the documentation, because in real time you fill a lot of documents before you start working on the technical part. So this is also very important. The phase of Informatica project will be different from the phase of normal application development. And of the interview questions, I have set of interview questions. We can add some more questions there. And we see performance tuning, how to write a good program in Informatica. What does it mean by the poor program and a good program giving the same result? So this is whole of the course structure.
Is performance and tuning,
yes,
basically it's on the transformation, right? Not other than all our, is that performance tuning is also graphically you do it, or like you write a code to do the, improve the process speed? What exactly you do in performance tuning?
Okay, so performance issue can be at any place, picking the data from the source, loading the data from the source, or processing. So we have to check that where is the bottleneck. And then we have to modify some of the properties. We really do not change the code, but we change some of the configuration.
Configuration, okay.
Yes, yeah. We also check whether the issue is there in the database or not. So if the issue is there with the database, we will be simply identifying, and we can pass this information to the Oracle DBA or to the Oracle developer. So it is like analyzing full of the map, full health checkup. And during the course, I will give you several scenarios. Where do we use this program? What can be the production support issues? And also, I will share with you several documents. For example, this. Yes, this is one of the presentations, which shows quite similar thing as what we have discussed. Yes, so we jot down the main points which we are going to cover, and this is the mapping designer. Slightly different view is presented here. Here, if I iconize the things like this, it will look similar as what is shown on the presentation. Yes. And then these are the list of transformation. We have picked this one, expression. And some more details. So if you, this can act as a small booklet for your further revision. So you will have access to Informatica, and during our session we will do the screen recording. If you have missed anything, you can very well go and play the recording, and that way you can do the revision. So this is the extra advantage of having an online training, and that you have got the screen recording, and that you can replay at any point of time. So this is one of the last screen recording. Yeah. So what you see here, this is the recorded session. Okay. Yes. So this is how I had a session with Pushpendra. So you can you have option for a repeat telecast. Okay, I'm closing this. This is how, with help of the videos and the documents, you have got ample material for your further revision. And every day, the best option would be you practice the same thing which I have displayed here, and any doubt you have, you just clarify. If you can practice every day, then probably you don't need to refer to the documents or to the videos. And then in these 35 hours, you will have a sound knowledge to take up the further interviews.
Okay.
Okay, so this is all I wanted to share with you about Informatica and my course structure. Yes, any
so
question?
Before, coming... Hey, before taking each of those courses, right, do you ask us to prepare something so that it will be really helpful like when we join the class?
Actually, that is not required.
Okay.
The basic is SQL and PLSQL that we cover.
Okay.
If you can prepare something on SQL, yes, that will have an added advantage. But the thing is, again, SQL and PLSQL is a big topic. This is another 30 days course. So on your own, you won't know that which thing to pick. So it's a good idea to prepare when we start the course. That way we give you the focused knowledge. Just in 2 sessions, you will know that which is the thing to be learned on SQL and PLSQL.
Sure.
Like in this project, the project you said, do you use like a procedures or functions in that project? Like, do you use PLSQL other than just writing queries?
Yes, we will use procedures. So what we will do, we will have a simple procedure, assuming that you have a very basic knowledge of PLSQL. And in Informatica, we will be mostly seeing how to use the existing procedure.
Like there are built-in procedures, what are you saying?
No, not the built-in procedures, means user-defined procedure. When you start working on Informatica project, you will find that people have already written many procedures. Application is in use from last 5 to 6 years. So there are already many procedures written in the application. So sometimes we want to write the similar logic. So instead of rewriting the same thing again in Informatica, it is quite straight way that why don't you use the procedure and get the result. So we reuse the existing application related procedures in Informatica. That is how PLSQL comes into picture.
Okay.
Is it similar to like syntaxes that you already have, but you will just give the values alone?
The procedures how we will use, it should be already written. So you should know what is the input value and what is the output value it is going to give you. So from Informatica we will provide the input value and we will pick the output value. So our task will be only to use the procedure. So underlying syntax we won't be much concerned. Does this answer your question?
Yeah, I'm just curious. I use SQL, PL/SQL, SQL Server, Oracle. I only know the first two steps, then I don't know anything else.
You mean to say these two steps?
Yeah, first two.
Yeah, so that is why you need the training, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there is no prerequisite to learn anything before the course. We will give you all the required things. That is how the course is designed.
Okay.
Any other point?
So entire training is from Oracle to Oracle, right?
We can take other database also. However, what you see here in Informatica, once source qualifier has come, it does not matter whether it is from Oracle or some other database. Yes, so for training purpose, we mostly use Oracle.
Okay.
Yeah. Sometimes we can use SQL Server also.
Okay. In your menu, I saw like Informatica server and client.
Okay.
What's in this?
Yes, yes. So when you work on Informatica, you will have a developers team. There will be one administrator. Informatica administrator will be there for around 10 to 20 developers who will be managing whole of the installation, taking the backup, making the load balancing. So there are certain tools supposed for the Informatica administrator. So this is a separate course. We don't need to learn this, but some idea we will get. What are the things inside this administrator home page? Okay. So server components are meant for administrator. We will have some idea, not the detail.
I have a question. So you use the tables that already existing in the Oracle database, right? What if there is a flat file like that will be in the subject that you are going to taught in the, you're going to teach in the upcoming classes? Like
yes, we will take example with the flat file. Here is the topic for the flat file. We will make in this demo I had used the table only, but Informatica is capable of picking the data from the flat file. It is capable of picking the data from the XML. So we will learn all, not only with the tables. Yes. So we will have ample opportunity to work on the flat file also. Informatica can create the target as a flat file. Here we have taken the example of loading the data to the table. We can have flat file here as a target also, XML file also as a target. Similarly, input can be also XML file or flat file.
So in that case, you have to define for each one of those flat files the data and everything. Like the columns, the fields, the data types, everything you have to define it, right?
Yes. So for that purpose, what we have a wizard. Okay, we need not write all the structure. When we do like import from file. Okay, so let us take one example. Here I have a flat file. Okay, department data. Let us say this is a very simple flat file having just 2 rows. I will bring this on designer. So on designer, what I'm doing is source import from file. Last time I had done import from database. And here, just go to the same directory. This is my file. And then this wizard opens. So this reads the file and it tries to create the structure. So we manually we don't need to write the file structure. Automatically it is sensed. For example, few things we might need to change if this wizard does not read it correctly. For example, import field name from the first line. This should be checked. Here it is reading that my file is a comma separated, which is correct one. So no need to change this. There are no quotes around text. Okay. It is reading the field lengths. We can change this. And then we can see this structure is here. So we need not write each and everything about the file. The wizard does the job. Our task is just to verify. If something is not correct, we need to modify. And then this is the source. And we can very well use this source in my program.
Okay.
So what you see here, once we have made the flat file as a source, and then we can use it in Informatica.
Okay, thank you.
So it is made in such a way that whether your source is a flat file or table, whether it is a table from DB to SQL Server, only initial step will be different, making this a structure. And then later on the main designer, you will hardly bother with from where data is coming. Rest of the steps will be almost same.
Okay.
Okay, so I have got several students from the different countries. Most of the people are from the testing, mainframe, or these are the two areas where people are mostly ready for migration, or from other technologies also. So yes, with this learning and might be slightly extra learning, many of them are able to make a good career in Informatica. And also you must be knowing that Informatica offers better package, more job opportunities, and the very important thing is working and learning is also very interesting as compared to Oracle or SQL developer. You find here we do not write the code. It's just drag and drop.
Okay. So we always get issues, especially with the date type of tables. So how do you manage it? Say, for example, like calendar days and like work days or business days. That's one of the things that we always get issues with ETL. So how do you guys manage it?
Calendar days.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so yes,
Like,
we have got several functions to handle the dates. We will use the built-in functions to handle the dates. If you see here, we had gone at this point of time. Here and there was no requirement for function, so I have not used here. However, you find that here we have got several functions. We can pick a function from here. We have got date functions. Okay, so if some date field is there, let us say I want hire date. I apply last day function on hire date. Then I will know what will be the first salary day for him. Last day of the month in which he has been hired. So by help of these functions, we can very well handle the dates.
thank you.
Okay.
Okay, so I think this is all. If you just discuss with our organizers, okay, and then we can
So
start our
what is the
training.
schedule? Is it every day or
A
weekdays?
schedule, yes, I see some who is here. Okay, so that I leave on our organizers. They will
Okay.
take care, making the best schedule for us. They will discuss with you and try to find the best schedule possible.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, bye.
Bye.